like we have them in cases here, and indeed, we under the guidance of the Prime Minister, where there's already inter-ministerial committee, we talk to each other on this. And as you have also guided, I think we need only to intensify and let mainstream what we're doing so that we don't have duplication of work. We don't have even doing work without consulting each other. The problem is that we were working in the disjointed manner, but now we are working under the guidance of the Prime Minister, ministerial committee, and we are talking to each other. But friends, we still need your assistance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And on a serious note, government, you need to take note and take charge of the fiscal planning department. It's rotten. Cases here, they need prayers. Achut, Dr. Achut.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And on behalf of the people of Lango, we also want to offer our congratulatory messages. For in Lango, we don't call it a Nalongo, but a Min Rudi. So we therefore congratulate you for becoming a Min Rudi. Right Honorable Speaker, we also want to thank you for the communication that you have made on AFCON. And as Lango Parliamentary Group, our desire really is that we remain united in this bid. I know there could have been some social media outbursts from some of our people, but that has not been our intention. However, our concern that we came out with today was that on the 3rd of October, when we were discussing the motion to pay tribute to Uganda for winning the AFCON bid, there was a statement that was read out by the Minister of State for Education, which was signed, and I have a soft copy on it. Within that statement, they said that government had made 6 commitments to CAF as far as AFCON is concerned. One of the commitments was to construct 2 additional stadia. And it specifically mentioned Akibwa, and then it says Buhinga or Hoima Stadium. And we had a very lengthy discussion. And the impression that was understood at that time was that Akibwa will be part and parcel of this bid. The change suddenly is what has created a lot of outcry and concern. And I really request, Right Honorable Speaker, that we sit and see how best to harmonize this. Because as we speak, 29 out of 30 MPs have really, come up with this resolution. It is our humble plea. You are our mama, you are our Min Rudi. We really request that you help your members to see how best to handle this, because there's a lot of pressure from the 2.4 million people in Lango.
Honorable Dr. Chut, Akibwa, I remember when I was in Kosase, I even arrested somebody we ordered for an arrest of somebody who had eaten money for Akibwa. And if there is any place to get a stadium, that is the place to get, because there is a history behind it. It has a history behind it. It's not that you want it. It is in memory of the late Obua. Now, that was a presidential directive. I also want to interest you in looking at the AFCON bid. If you want a copy, you can pick a copy from either my office or the Deputy Speaker's office. That was filled. It has the checklist of what is required. But that said and done, that does not stop us from having that place constructed. We will have it constructed. Let's have it budgeted for. Let's appropriate and have it constructed. It doesn't require us to make noise outside there that you're addressing press conferences. Honorable Nyakun is going to come tomorrow and start addressing a press conference for Karamoja that we also want. So you see that. Let's avoid that kind of thing, but we are going to have it in place. Buhinga is going to have a stadium. Whether it, yes, it's going to have a stadium.
Let me say something.
Yes, yeah. You want your people to hear you say something.
Yeah, surely.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Achiki, and I congratulate you for giving us twins and becoming a Nalongo. The people of Tora are very happy, and they love you. Right Honorable Speaker, you mentioned something very interesting in your opening remarks, and this was about the children going back for holidays. And when we did our study, Right Honorable Speaker, we found that the country lacks sports facilities. So the issue of sports facilities that should occupy our young children, nurture their talents, is really a must, because in any country, the government plans for the younger population. So these issues of the stadium, they are issues that are they are obligations of the state. And I think we do not need to pull strings of really demanding for something which government must plan for. Luckily, when we made our prayer to the president as people of Toro for Buhinga Stadium, he came and even laid the foundation stone. And he promised the people of Toro to have the stadium. So, luckily enough, the African comes on board. Now, Madam Speaker, I would like to draw your attention that when we are going to host the Commonwealth, the government suffocated other budget lines and ensured that infrastructure that is required for the Commonwealth to take course is built, and it took us a lot of money. I implore you kindly, Madam Speaker, that in the same spirit, after learning of the conditions of the African, government can direct resources specifically to fulfill those requirements, and this will boost the economy of this country. So for me, instead of tagging ourselves only to the 3 stadia, which are ready, and maybe the advantage of Hoima, we could say now, government, this is a chance, this is an opportunity. What is missing in Lango, what is missing in Toro, let us fix it. And then we have this stadia in place. That is our plea, and that's why I never called a press conference, because I have personally been engaging you, Madam, and you have been giving me good news, engaging the President. I hope that this discourse continues and the resolutions which we have made here in Parliament are respected. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, as I say, let's not discuss issues of AFCON. Let's not discuss issues of AFCON. It's an agreed fact that we'll have a number of stadia in different areas. It is also a fact that in the bid, there are specific issues. There are specific items that were raised. You must have 5-star hotel. You must have an airfield. A number of things that was put in the what? And those are things that the checklist that is being checked. And when people say that Hoima is getting, maybe Fort will also put up 5-star tomorrow. Maybe Honorable Kotogong is planning to put a 5-star in Ilera. So 2027 is far. Don't make the noise now. That will be sorted. Huh? Yes? Yes, Viralo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would have been the first to congratulate you.
Because it's the Salongo.
Because I come from a family of many twins, only that I have not made it. Right Honorable Speaker, I see Kampala State Council. Equally the same, Right Honorable Speaker, in the countryside, there is a lot of patching on the face and leaving the rest of the body unwashed. You know, when they patch these areas in Kampala where the guest is going to pass, they leave the behind, they leave the other streets and the other roads unattached. Likewise, the districts which are in corners, which are not on highways, like from Kampala, Masaka, Mbarara, Bushenyi, Shaka, Kasese, there is some attention. But a district in a corner like Buhweju, there is virtually no road to talk of. Let it be a Union road, let it be a district road, let it be a community road, let it be even the Burunjugansi, which is done by the natives. There is virtually no road, and someone should not tell us about the funds released by Uganda Road Fund. They are too meager to cause any effect in Buhweju. Right, Honourable Speaker, I would make an appeal that the district in corners, not only Buhweju but like Buhweju, should get special affirmative action. Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you, government.
Right Honorable Speaker, we all recall that recently this Parliament had a very, very long debate, especially on infrastructure and specifically roads. In all districts in Uganda, in all cities and all municipalities. And you personally played a very, very key role, even in changing the earlier guidelines that had made emphasis on we wanted maintenance, but the Ministry of Works wanted something else. And all of us as members of Parliament are members of the Roads Committee. And I want to confirm that every district, city, and municipality in Uganda, out of the 1 billion that this Parliament passed, has received already 500 million Uganda shillings. It may be meager, but it is going to all districts, to all cities, to all municipalities. We all passed this. I want to implore my honorable colleague, because he has even stated that even at the district, Buhweju is one of the districts that, in my humble opinion, has equally received a sum of 500 million Uganda shillings. If there are roads falling under Uganda National Roads Authority, we can draw the attention of the Ministry of Works. But in as far as the district roads are concerned, all municipalities, cities in Uganda received. In as far as community access roads that are under sub-counties are concerned, all sub-counties in Uganda have received their share. I beg to submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, but Honorable Minister, you could also tell UNRWA to look at his issue. He has a unique issue. You know where Buhweju is? It is off-road. It's so deep in a corner there that even going there is not an easy thing. You could ask UNRWA to look.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I undertake to do that straight away, even while our proceedings are still going on.
Thank you. You could also ask UNRWA about the Nabirumba Bridge. I want to go home over the weekend, but I have nowhere to pass. Yes, Max. Max, why did you people beat a reverend? Catholics don't behave like that. A priest.
Thank you very much.
They beat a priest.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Before I say anything on your communication, let me clarify on that matter. Madam Speaker.
That one I want an explanation. You come to my office.
Okay.
Because
please.
I know everything.
Okay, thank you. Please. But briefly, it was a lie that the priest was beaten. It was just politics. You know the politics in my place. That said, Madam Speaker, allow me first of all, Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of West Budama North constituency, and also on my own behalf, to congratulate you upon becoming Totodwe. Madam Speaker, in your communication, like others have observed, you address the issue of KCCA roads. But what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Where I come from, in West Budama North constituency, there is a particular road that is Tororo Nagongara Busolwe. That road is in a bad state. Last week, the councillors of the district demonstrated. Unfortunately, they were arrested. And it took me on Friday to go and try manually by myself to try to patch up some places. Could you help me address this matter to the Ministry of Works such that they can prevail over UNRA to go and do an emergency repair on this road? I will appreciate it.
You have information from Busole?
Yeah, thanks very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and thanks very much, Honorable Max, for giving way. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Bunyole West, Butaleja District, and on my own behalf, I want to congratulate you for becoming a Navajuana. that is in Bunyole. Right Honorable Speaker, the information I wanted to give my colleague, Honorable Max, is that the road he's talking about stretches right from Tororo, Nagongera, Busolwe, and it goes up to Busaba in my constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, UNRA was doing something on that said road in terms of low-cost seal. There was an advert which was placed, and they started working on 6 kilometers. They worked on 6 kilometers right from Musenda, that's where where Butaleja district starts from, to Mulaji. And the advert was that they would continue and stretch from Mulaji to Busava, and then from Busolwe to Nagongera. Right when I speak up to now, nothing is taking place. So I would request that as UNRA looks at the entire road, they should also come and explain how far this low-cost seal has reached. Thank you very much, Right
Honorable members, I want to advise you, when you know there's such kind of a road, and you even know there's a contractor that has been given such a road, why don't you go to UNRA to make a follow-up? You don't even need to write. Go and make a follow-up and say there's this and this that is happening in my constituency. It would be a good thing for you. You can raise it on the floor here, and it's not answered. Yes, James, I told you tomorrow. On my communication.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And Madam Speaker, I am instructed by my culture, because my father used to tell me that when a mother is in the village, is for the nation. And Madam Speaker, I'm humbled to have a mother, especially a mother of twins. Congratulations, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you very much for raising the issue of roads. And thank you very much for raising the issue of people constructing on trenches. Madam Speaker, I sit on the Infrastructure Committee. It is that character, that behavior is being blessed by government. I have had the behavior of people constructing on trenches.
Honorable, government is me and you. So you.
I want to clarify, Madam Speaker.
Listen, do you want to say that you're one of the people who have blessed such a kind of thing? A criminal is a criminal. Let's identify one criminal, prosecute that person, and not bundle everybody.
Madam Speaker, we have made a report.
Can I have that report
and
tomorrow?
Madam Speaker, on that matter, we will see how we have seen people writing letters, allowing people to construct on trenches.
Can we have your
Madam
report?
Speaker, I want to thank you once again. On the issue of roads, we should stop having lovely expenditure. We need to look at return on investment. Madam Speaker, I come from a constituency which is contributing 65% on the tourism revenue of this country. But Madam Speaker, as I talk, yesterday, tourists failed to reach Buhoma, and they can't cross. Madam Speaker, I would need your indulgence at this matter. Honorable Musasizi, I want to thank him. He knows this subject as a Minister of Finance. What do we do? Because it is our cash cow that is being depleted now so far. Kanyantologo to Buhoma and to Ruhija is now broken down. The tourists are the ones that give us money. And Madam Speaker, the 70 billion that comes from Gindi, only, Madam Speaker, the budget for UA is 124 billion. We contribute 70 billion. And now it is being broken down. Are we really doing something? Madam Speaker, I need your indulgence. Thank you.
Government.
Right Honorable Speaker, without any doubt in my mind, we are all aware that the Mother Nature has gotten annoyed with us. In all parts of Uganda, there are heavy rains. Bridges are affected, roads are affected, there are floods more or less everywhere. But just like you were interjecting when the member was submitting, how I wish you could direct them, since he stated that their report is ready, and you even indicated that the report can be presented tomorrow, such that we have a comprehensive and structured debate on the report of a parliamentary committee, because I could hear you interject. And we promise that the ministry in charge of the sector will be available. But honorable colleagues, all said and done, the Ministry of Works and Transport, including UNRWA, needs our additional support in terms of funding to handle the emergencies that are currently happening in the country.
Thank you. Honorable members. Independent, okay. Independence.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My mom is a twin. My brother has twins. I have one. Congratulations. On your communication, Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday you guided and directed that the report of the Trade Committee should go to the relevant authorities. And today you have informed us that the same documents have been uploaded for us to read. Right Honorable Speaker, I recall that sometime in this Parliament...
Honorable.
Yes, please.
Honorable.
Yes.
We are not debating, we are not discussing, we are not even saying anything on that report. It ended yesterday. I was only informing you that since you wanted it uploaded,
yes,
it is uploaded. Go ahead, look at it, and that is that. The other institutions have already started their work. So let's not...
Much obliged, right, Honorable
yes.
Speaker. Secondly, on the issue of roads, I think Kampala has suffered a lot of lack of funding, and we only do a knee-jerk approach when visitors are coming for us to start patching up as we are doing now. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge my colleagues that I think it's time for us now to plan appropriately so that we can fund Kampala, because this is our place, this is where we live. We don't have to wait for visitors, we just have to put more money so that we deal with Kampala roads. In terms of district roads and community roads, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm the chair of Otuke District Road Committee in Otuke. I want to salute my colleague, the Honorable Minister of Finance, for actually releasing money in time. We have had meetings, and as a committee, we are doing quick interventions of the district roads and community roads so that our people actually have the roads they deserve. And I would want to ask my colleagues that let us play a role as leaders and we are actually by law ex-official members of the district committees, and make sure that we participate, we do oversight roles, and for those who are chairs, we make sure that our people, actually the roads are done and they have a better road. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, as we said, these roads, we are all members of the road committee. And if I can tell you, in my district where I come from, my chair of the road committee, first of all, we don't have problems with the roads because we have a chair who will follow what is being done. He will move with those contractors from morning to sunset. And my chair of the road committee is here. The chair of the road committee.
Madam Speaker, first of all, congratulations, Madam Speaker, for expanding my clan. In Ateso we say Emulia Kolia. So thank you very much. Then you respond Kolia. So thank you very much. Actually, as far as roads is concerned, we are operating very well. We are trying our level best with the existing constraint. But an amount of 1 billion in the budget is not small money. A big leap from what we used to have, 20 million. So I think we are doing very well, and everywhere we must get involved in ensuring that corruption does not eat into this. I thank you, Right Honorable.
Thank you. Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, you alluded to the committee report of trade that handled cooperatives and other related matters. And you indicated that agencies could pick up and handle them. Would it be procedurally right that we first adopt the report as a committee, because the committee processed under Article 90 of the Constitution, it reports to the House, then the House adopts, then the agencies take over from there? I beg to be guided. Thank you.
Honorable members, I am putting a question that the Committee of Trade, Tourism and Industry on inquiry into the governance and value for money for budgetary appropriation to the cooperatives for financial year 2011, 2012, 2022, 2023 be adopted by this House. Those in favor say and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Yes, procedure.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have a concern that I am seeking your guidance. We have honorable members of Parliament of this House who have made it a habit to run to the media, make some statements without taking advantage of your office. Your office is always open. We have a chance to always address our issues to you. But somebody goes to the media, makes a statement before coming to you. Because Rule 30 tells us how we can petition, or we can bring petitions to your office if our constituents have issues that needs to be addressed. 2 weeks ago, the caucus of Chori Parliamentary Group took up a matter related to Bararo. They know how it's being handled. They made some serious statements.
Honorable.
Yesterday, wait a minute, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me finish this. I'm done with that.
Okay.
Let me finish now.
Okay, first it.
Okay.
First it. Honorable members, the issue of Balalo was an executive order. We do not have the locus to debate on it. And if those people, let's not discuss that. Let's not discuss that. Unless you have something else.
Thank you for your guidance, Madam Speaker. Related to that, yesterday, another group went to the media about now AFCON. My question is, Madam Speaker.
That is closed. We have finished.
Okay, yeah.
Also.
My question to you. Okay, where I'm seeking your guidance. Why don't you allow me finish?
Honorable members, and that is the benefit of coming to this House early. We've debated, we've discussed issues of AFCON, and we've agreed on a way forward. We've closed it. Can we hear from Kampala? Honorable Minister first. Honorable Minister. And on the issues of the roads, I want you people to, on the issues of the roads, honorable members, Honorable Samuel, on the issues of the roads, honorable members, I want all of you to get involved. An additional 1 billion shillings that we gave to this constituency. That's a lot of money. It is this, we gave money 1 billion. Now they have already received 500. And Alex, you will not tell me it is not there. It is there. It is just because you're not in the constituency. That's why you're saying it is not there. But when you ask your woman MP, she will tell you it is there. The money has gone, finance, haven't you released money to all constituencies? But why is Alex saying it is not there?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to make some additional information which I have communicated to the public from Cabinet, that the government still sends the road fund, but in addition, government made a commitment to give each district 1 billion shillings and to release the quarterly.
Each district, each city, each municipality.
Yes. And the clarification I wanted to give is that that additional 1 billion shillings is for maintenance of existing roads. Because we found out that in some districts, people were budgeting for the 1 billion to open like 12 kilometers of a new road. So the clarification we have given to the districts and the public, which I want to give through Parliament, is that the 1 billion shillings is to maintain the existing roads in our communities.
Thank you. Thank you. There is a procedure matter.
Madam Speaker, you gave a wonderful communication today. You hit almost all aspects of life and majorly of the police force, whereby you say that it is not good for utilities like water and electricity really to be denied to hospitals and police barracks, because I've never heard about army barracks since they have their spokesperson is here. Madam Speaker, I brought here a matter concerning Exodus. The purpose was to address the flight of the police personnel in this country, and as you talked, truly speaking, the police barracks in this country, water and electricity is received on ration. When you receive at night, in the morning, you don't receive. I therefore, Madam Speaker, I don't know whether we are proceeding well, that the Exodus report that was supposed to be given, that was supposed to be submitted to this August House for us to look into the welfare of the police, has taken too long since you advised and directed. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Minister, Internal Affairs, do you have any information on Exodus? The chairman of the committee.
Right, Honorable Speaker, even this morning, the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs held a meeting to consider a draft report on the Exodus. Last week, in the Business Committee, 2 weeks ago, we confirmed that we are on course. I can pledge that this report should be ready next week. We are listening to the cries of the police officers, the savers, and our brothers and sisters. And we are considering it, and we are leaving no stone unturned.
Thank you.
I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, when we were communicating here, we had an issue in regard to the water, electricity, on the welfare of police officers, where they stay. Some of them don't have water, like you've heard what Honorable Macho is saying. They ration. Water is there in the morning, in the afternoon it's not there, it's in the night it's not there. What do we do? When you look at, maybe you need to borrow a leaf from the army barracks.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I was a little bit confused earlier when the Honorable Macho linked utility bills with Exodus. I think these are two different things. But that said, we have issues with the water and electricity. Earlier on this floor, I remember presenting a statement regarding that matter, but I request to go back and get the current status and come back to Parliament with a more informed position on the matter. Right, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. And how you could even wish, you could request KCCA just to grade that road in Zambia, just within the barracks. Just grade that road so that cars can be able to pass. Thank you. Kampala? Yeah, the minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, through you, I want to thank you for this opportunity so that I can say one or two things that are pertinent. One of them is, as you have heard the Honorable Kampala, my son, say Senga. I thought the record would not be right if the Senga I don't come here and join my other colleagues to express the joyous when I heard that you had the baby, the twins, the Wazukuru, you added on the Wazukuru list.
Thank you, Senga.
It was a moment of joy, personally, and I knew you knew how I felt. I wish you and the baby and the daddy all the best. Another issue, Right Honorable Speaker, is that on behalf of all members of this Parliament and other people outside there, your passion, your selflessness to touch hearts of many. They have been saying you are mother. You are not only a mother. I think this week as you came in, you were seen going to the hospital to check on our colleagues. As a Minister of State General Duties, I am aware, me inclusive, how many people you have saved and touched to ensure that they have good health. Very passionate indeed. I've been here for some time, but this is your passionate, your humanity. You have not added other people to the population, the babies, but you want to see everybody. You cut across to care. You went to our hospitals. I would have joined you, I wasn't feeling well. You went into Zambia. Every person, even you reach out to them in their homes, even the hospitals. If I didn't say these words today, maybe I would not feel happy. I'm very happy on behalf of each and everybody, even Ugandans, the way you care about everyone, the way you care about every person to ensure they have good health.
And, Honorable.
By the way, we have a new set of Valongo in the house by Honorable Grania. We also have another new baby called Anita Annette among by Honorable Nancy. Yes, congratulations to all of them.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to applaud you for your wonderful communication and the Honorable Hanifa Kawoya, and also add my voice to the others in commending your passion, but also your sense of motherlyhood and direction of leadership for having visited our honorable colleagues, and we pray and wish them a quick recovery. That's the Honorable Muhammad Segirinya of Kawempe and the Honorable Elot, I think from Soroti. Our minds and souls go to their families and to them, and as a house and their fellow members, through you, Right Honorable Speaker, we pray that the good Lord extends the hand of mercy unto them and the hand of relief, so that they heal very well from their pains and diseases that they have. Right Honorable Speaker, Kampala has about 2,100 kilometers of road. And only a few have been opened up in the previous years, like you know. But I applaud you that when we sat here during the budgetary process, you put your foot down. And you said we have to increase funding to Kampala. And that as well goes to this August House and the Budget Committee. Right Honorable Speaker, what we are seeing is partly the fruits. We can only harvest where we've sowed. If we invest little, we harvest little. If we invest a lot, we acquire a lot. Right Honorable Speaker, Kampala was designed as it is to only cater for 45,000 vehicles. That is including motorists and vehicles which we can call cars. Declared the capital city, we had a functional railway line that you all knew, which is partly now not functional, like you all know at the moment. But we would also like to say that the roads, most of the roads in the city have outlived their usefulness. And this patching you see is like an old man, someone with an old cloth. You keep patching and patching until you can't patch no more. I remember when we came here the other time, we talked about the status that is shaming to all of us. Wherever you pass, everyone's car arrives here when it is muddy. And the reason is, for as long as the funding of the city is still low, that is what we shall reap. There is no shortcut. But, Right Honorable Speaker, I went to the people and consulted with them, and I spoke it here. I think I also talked about it the other time, and asked the people that would you be willing to pay an extra levy on fuel to upgrade our infrastructure? And all the people were positive. And they said, it's we who drive these cars on these roads. We are much willing to see the face of our city looking as the cities of our neighboring countries, because it's shaming to every individual that is in this country. And people are willing to pay. That's why people are willing to pay, Right Honorable Speaker, for the express highway. Because Ugandans want beautiful things and are willing to pay an extra coin to attain them. Now that the basket of goods and services that we have from our revenue is small, we can stand here and come up with an entire debate on our infrastructure and how to find this money. Then secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, this issue of patching, I agree with you. It has increased the disruption and traffic in the city. The recent report showed that we lose about 1,400 hours every year in traffic. 2 hours coming to work, 2 hours going back home. A maximum of about 4 hours. Because 90% of the people that work in the city do not necessarily live within the city center. Now, what happens, you lose 4 hours, probably for 300 days, that is about 1,400 hours, and that's an equivalent to about 50 days of not working. So at the end of the day, URA loses revenue.
Can you conclude?
Okay. URA loses revenue and etc. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to implore this House that we come up in a bipartisan manner and discuss the status of our country's infrastructure with view of finding a position of how we can improve it. Because for as long as it's not good, there is no investor you're going to convince to come and work in this country when the road network is poor, when the railway we talked about is not functional. We've talked about the SGR, we've talked about the light rail. All the other countries have done their they have perfected the art of improving public transport. Look at Tanzania on its SGR, look at Kenya on its standard gauge railway, Uganda for the last 11 years when we launched it, when the presidents launched it, we have nothing. So we must sit down and box ourselves in the corner and say we need better infrastructure so that the people that pay tax can really feel that there is a parliament and that there is a government.
Thank you. Honorable Nsereko, As government, I know government is still able to fund all its infrastructure, whatever, whether hospitals or whichever. We are not going to start soliciting for money that let's contribute. There's a way we can get money through taxes and whichever, but let's not go soliciting for money to help government. Government has not declared itself that it cannot be able to do that. When there was potholes were on the road going to my home, you helped me and started punching them for me. You did it voluntarily on your own, but let's not be the ones to go out that we cannot be able. We have the money. We cannot say that we don't have. Finance, give us a position.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank you for your wise guidance on the matter. I was looking at Honorable Nsereko when he was making his submission, and I was shaking my head. I was wondering, what kind of economics are these? Madam Speaker.
Order. Right Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether to define the Honorable Musasis as a serious minister or not. What I talked about is a fuel levy, which is legislated by this House. This House passed a levy on fuel, which is a charge, which is a tax. So I've not talked about any abstract economics. I've said the people of Kampala are much willing, and the Metropolitan, to pay an extra levy that is levied on fuel.
That's where the economics comes in.
It's okay.
That's where the economics comes in. As an economist, sit down. Chigongo, sit down. You know, let's do an intellectual fight, but not a fiscal one. The economic sense is talking about is on the increase. You continue, Honorable Minister. He's one of the most serious ministers, by the way.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, to cut the long story short, because I want to leave this house when my friend is happy with me, we have enough money to meet our priorities of government. We don't have to go around soliciting. Yes, Madam Speaker, as you can see, we have provided all this money which is making us get inconvenienced with traffic jam because the Kampala roads are being repaired. And all this is government money. And I want to commit before this House that as and when there is a need, we still have capacity to finance our infrastructure and other obligations of government without necessarily soliciting or adding unnecessary levies. Madam Speaker, taxation should not be looked at from one angle of raising revenue. We need to also look at its impact in terms of you want to generate revenue, but also you want to growth, and also you want to make your people comfortable. So these unnecessary levies will make our people uncomfortable, and we cannot take that route, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, the status of Uganda infrastructure requires answers to the following. One, do we have the National Fiscal Development Plan in Uganda? The answer is no, we don't have. Two, do we have the multi-modal transport infrastructure plan in Uganda? And the executive should be able to address this. When that is addressed, then we'll be able to resolve all this. I've seen the Minister of agriculture, and as Parliament we shall do our work appropriately once that is handled. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, let me also take this opportunity to congratulate you and all these other Ugandans who are increasing our population. We wish many more returns of the activity. Having said that, Right Honorable Speaker, we do have a national physical development plan. It was approved by Cabinet and it has been gazetted and we will soon table it here. But even before that, we are already working with a number of districts, and if I knew, I'd be able to bring the number, more than 15 districts and the cities.
Dr. Honorable Nen, just a minute, I introduce your members before you go out.
So we do have a number of, all the districts do have what we call district physical development plans, all of them. Our challenge is, number one, the attitude of Ugandans, the mindset of Ugandans about the importance of physical planning. They think you can just do things the way you want, and except when the results are negative. And they're already been seen. Like Right Honorable Speaker, you have guided a lot of things which are happening in Kampala here, the drainages. These are all the results of not following the national the physical development plan for Kampala. Once that is followed, we'll be able to alleviate a number of these. But having said all that, we're organizing a national launch for this physical development plan for the whole country. And soon you'll be informed, and will require our colleagues to follow up the process of implementation. But I urge all our members of Parliament, our leaders in the country, to be leaders by example, by making sure that they will be the first people as an example people to follow the principles of the National Physical Development Plan and the district physical plans. Once we do that, with a little bit of money, we should be able to resolve the issues related to physical planning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think what we need to do for us to have change of attitude, we need to have a stakeholders engagement for people to be able to appreciate before we do even the enforcement. Honorable members in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a group of Gulu City officials consisting of the civil society organizations, the lawyers, victims of survivors of LRA. They are here and they are represented by Honorable Mapendusi Ojara and Honorable Onen Charles. Father here, and the father you see there is a very good member of Parliament, and Honorable Ojara Mapendusi. They are very, very good members of Parliament. You're there, Secretary, in the constituency. We want to thank you so much for coming, and you're welcome. Join me in welcoming them. You have very good members of Parliament, and bring them back. Honorable members, can we move to the next item? We have a bill that we must pass.
Item 3, laying of papers, the annual macroeconomic and fiscal performance report for the financial year 2022-2023.
Honorable members, pursuant to Rule 30 of the Rules of 31 of the Rules of Procedure, I hereby invite the Minister of Finance and Economic Development to table the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the rule you have just stated, I beg to lay on the table the macroeconomic and fiscal performance report for financial year 2022-2023.
Thank you. The report is accordingly referred to the Committee of Budget for scrutiny and other committees for information. Next.
Item 4, statement by Minister on the commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disability, due on 3rd December 2023.
Honorable Minister of Disability, inclusion is a very vital precondition for protection of human rights and realization of sustainable development goals, peace and security. And pursuant to Rule 52.1 of the Rules of Procedure, I invite Honorable Minister Helen Asamo to come and give us a report to that effect.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ministers, Honorable, we have a bill. We need quorum, and we are going to the bill next after this.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice to congratulate you for the birth of our children who have added to our clan. As Honorable Shag said, as the Teso clan, we are very excited. Ija around Totodwe. Thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members of Parliament, the United Nations Decade for Persons with Disabilities was held from 1983 to 1992 to enable governments and organizations to implement measures to improve the lives of persons with disabilities all over the world. On October 14, 1992, as the decade drew to a close, the UN General Assembly proclaimed 3rd December as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. This day was first observed on December 3rd, 1992. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to request that I go to the real day so that I save time for some of the things that we need to discuss. The other past things can be handled by the members. I will only go straight to look at the theme. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the national theme for this year's celebration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is the role of innovation in disability inclusion. These have been derived from the global theme for this year, which is transformative solutions for inclusive development, the role of innovation in fueling an accessible and equitable world. Right Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, this year's theme is in line with the principle of leaving no one behind, as highlighted in the Sustainable Development Goals, NDP 3, Vision 2030, among other frameworks. The theme focuses on the need to raise awareness and exchange good practices on the importance of innovation as a tool to increase the possibilities for persons with disabilities. Innovations help persons with disabilities in meaningful participation, in expanding opportunities, and easy sharing of knowledge, and therefore it helps in reducing inequality. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the theme enjoys the executive, legislature, judiciary, and the private sector, especially the Minister of ICT, Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, universities, Minister of Health, Minister of Education and Sports, banks, telecommunication companies, manufacturers, NGOs, investors, committees of parliament, court assessors, among others, to critically think about all the new and upcoming innovations in the context of their meaningful inclusion of each category of persons with disabilities. The theme helps us to prioritize empowerment and independent living of persons with disabilities
through provision of more user-friendly assistive devices and technologies. This enables persons with disabilities to navigate workspaces, access services, employment, and markets easily, hence enhancing equity and disability inclusive development. Right now, Speaker and the honorable members, each of the different categories of persons with disabilities has its unique need, and that all innovations need to prioritize. For example, persons with physical disabilities require innovations focused on powered wheelchairs, functional electrical stimulation to rehabilitate persons with spinal cord injuries, wearable exoskeletons that rehabilitate persons with stroke and other neurological conditions, among others. As a country, we need to increase funding for innovations. For instance, under Ministry of Health, regional workshops, this will enable them to produce assistive equipment with better and accommodative technologies. The persons with visual impairments need innovation in terms of adaptive technologies, such as Braille keyboards, smarter version of Braille, text-to-voice computing, talking devices, among other options. These innovations provide better chances of meaningful inclusion and independent living. The persons with hearing impairments need innovations in video reel services. These services enable a person with a hearing impairment to receive assigned big screen telephone calls through a communication assistant who is a qualified universal sign language interpreter. Similar means of education and sports need to explore innovations such as online sign language tutorials for secondary schools and signed audiovisual copies of the curriculum to mitigate the current teaching gaps in sign language. This also supplements all the instructional materials and methods. This, among others, would possibly address the current challenges of performance among learners with special needs. In cases where there are no sign language interpreters, the ministry responsible for innovations or information communication and technology can support installation of real-time voice-to-text translation systems to work at places, schools, health facilities, and other public places. These systems can accurately transcribe voice conversations using speech-to-text knowledge in conferences, classrooms, among other platforms. These innovations will slowly promote independent living, especially among the educated category of persons with hearing impairments. The adoption of the subtitling of all voice speeches on television is another simple innovation, but with transformative results in the lives of persons with hearing impairment. Through the Uganda Communication Commission, though the Uganda Communication Commission requires all television stations to have sign language interpreters, this has not been fully achieved for all television programs. But subtitling of voice in most programs on TV, like it's done in international media, is a reform that can help bridge the gap. We need to consider this as a matter of urgency. The persons with a combination of hearing, speech, and visual impairments require the ministry in charge of technology and innovation to prioritize the area of tactile technology. This helps people with hearing, speech, and visual impairment communicate. It's an innovation that strives on the sense of touching and manipulation of hands between a helper, a person with such a disability. This is very transformative in the lives of persons with a combination of three impairments. The persons with albinism require government agencies like Uganda Pharmaceutical Industries and other local scientists to prioritize products such as sunscreens, face balms, among others, which are currently imported and very expensive. Persons with spina bifida condition require innovation in the local production of affordable organic diapers, among other materials, to strengthen accessible care for children with this category of disability. Similarly, children with hydrocephalus require innovations in the production of free or subsidized supplies, such as shunts. The shunts are medical tubes used in health facilities to drain extra fluids from the head of children with hydrocephalus. Most parents of such children cannot afford these critical supplies, yet they are not adequate in our health facilities. The person with short stature require government intervention to make adjustments for reasonable accommodation. For instance, there's a need for Minister of Finance to issue a circular to banks to have a certain percentage of ATM machines at a lower height to cater for persons with short stature, that's what we call little persons in Uganda, who keep complaining of inaccessibility. Then adjustments by ministry in charge of sanitation in the height of some toilets in public places to accommodate persons with short stature, among other adjustments for reasonable accommodation. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the above are some of the few examples to demonstrate the urgent need for the different duty bearers to prioritize the promotion of innovation for disability inclusion. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, since the inception, and as is the practice, commemorating this day is organized on regional levels. Last year it was in northern Uganda, and this year we shall commemorate in Western region, and the approved venue for this year's commemoration is Mbarara district in Western Uganda, which was selected among others based on the timely expression of interest and other suitability considerations to host the day. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the chief guest of the day is expected to be the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, my ministry constitutes a national organizing committee comprised of representatives of ministries, departments, and agencies, non-state actors, and the host local government to spearhead arrangements for this event. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the pre-event and the D-Day activities include assessment of some persons with disabilities for assistive devices, distribution of assistive devices, a national disability symposium with a panel discussion on innovations for disability inclusion, HIV screening, blood donation, cancer screening, media engagements, and provision of dummy checks for the selected groups in the region of the national, that's the national special grant, exhibitions of inclusive innovations by private sector and government agencies, among others. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate the honorable members of the Parliament for their efforts in enacting enabling laws and supporting the budget allocation towards empowerment of persons with disabilities. And that one I say it from the heart. Right Honorable Speaker, this year we had 3 billion allocated, but under your leadership, we have got back all the money, the 16 billion. Thank you so much for the special grant. And that special grant is all over the country. I urge all members of Parliament to participate in the national and some of the district level commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I conclude with an appeal to always support and mobilize resources for persons with disabilities to address their unique disadvantages and enhance their meaningful inclusion in the development agenda. And I also want to take this opportunity to invite all of you to come to Mbarara and see the wonders of the disabled people in Uganda. Thank you so much. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Helen, and thank you for the information. And this statement is largely informative and is self-explanatory. Very self-explanatory, and I want to thank you so much for supporting people with a disability. And these are very important persons in our lives. We want to thank government for always having time